Rotator cuff tears can be discouraging, but they don't always need surgery to be fixed. Hi, Dr. James Vegher here again. I'm a specially trained doctor of physical therapy who focuses on helping people solve their joint pain issues. I want to talk to you about rotator cuff tears and everything you need to know about them to get you on the road to recovery. That's not all you get today though. I created a Healthy Shoulders guide for you to learn more in-depth tips, strategies, and exercises that will heal your pain fast. Stick around to the end of this video so you can grab this free gift. Your rotator cuff, that's cuff, not cup, refers to a group of muscles around your shoulder joint. Their main job is to keep your upper arm bone, or humerus, in your shoulder socket, but they also assist with rotating and lifting your arms. As you lift your arm up, you have strong muscles that are pulling up on your humerus. The rotator cuff's main function is to counteract that pull so your humerus stays in place and does not move more than it should. When your rotator cuff is not working as it should, your humerus will start to move out of its socket and rub against the top bone of your shoulder, called the acromion. If this rubbing happens enough, your muscles that lie between the acromion and the humerus will get pinched and eventually break down. This muscle is part of your rotator cuff. The unfortunate part is the problem starts because your rotator cuff is not working properly. But once your rotator cuff is damaged, it can't work well, which creates a vicious cycle. You might get a rotator cuff tear from playing sports, or it might be from wear and tear from normal activity. But it is important to understand that the reason you have the tear is likely that your rotator cuff is not doing its job and the movement of your shoulder has been altered. The repeated movements are damaging the rotator cuff. You might feel a dull ache in your shoulder or pain when you move your arm a certain way. If you can't do your normal activities, it could be a sign that you have a tear as well. In many cases, proper physical therapy can help. If you think you have a rotator cuff tear, or if you're having pain that prevents you from lifting your arm all the way up, you need to seek medical attention to get it diagnosed. If you know you have a tear, I want to show you some movements you can do to help with recovery. But first, you need to know that this movement is intended for a broad audience, and you may require more specific attention. Also understand that if I was working with you one-on-one, I would be able to provide treatment and guidance on all the facets of your pain. There is much more that goes into solving your problems than encompasses your whole body, and I encourage you to check out my other videos for a more comprehensive approach to solving your pain problems. So this exercise is all about technique and being very, very careful that you're not moving in a way that causes any pain whatsoever. There's very limited space in your shoulder joint, so if you move just a little bit off and your shoulder's already inflamed, you have a high likelihood of pinching that muscle and aggravating that rotator cuff tear that's already there. So do this exercise in standing. You can actually do it in sitting as well. And I really recommend for my shoulder clients that they do this exercise in a mirror, because your concept of what your shoulder is doing and what it's actually doing are usually not the same. So really take the time, go to a mirror and do this exercise. So standing, you're gonna put your hand on your chest, and the position of your hand is really going to be a matter of what angle your humerus or your upper arm bone is in. So ideally the humerus will be halfway between pointing in front of you and pointing right out to the side. So wherever that point is for your arm, and is going to be where your hand is going to end up on your chest, just enough so that humerus stays at a 45-degree angle from your body. Simply, you're going to keep your shoulder in place, and you're going to just think about lifting the tip of your elbow, very, very tip of your elbow, towards the ceiling, slightly away from your shoulder and up towards the ceiling. You don't want to lift your elbow any higher than shoulder height. And then you're going to let it come down without the shoulder dropping. Keeping the shoulder floating right in place, elbow drops down, lifting it up. Now this is the ideal movement pattern. This is how high you should be able to get ideally. If you have a shoulder problem, rotator cuff tear, rotator cuff aggravation. You may not be able to get it up all the way. You may only get halfway, you may get 3/4, you may be able to barely lift it away from your side. All of that is fine, as long as you're doing it pain-free. The most you should feel is a stretch, and never allowing your shoulder to move up or down. Shoulder needs to stay in place. The elbow tip floats up to the ceiling, keeping the shoulder floating in place. Only as high as it'll go without pain and without the shoulder moving. And that's why the mirror is so important. Usually people with shoulder pain cannot tell if their shoulder blade is moving towards their ear or moving down towards their butt. Shoulder stays still, elbow moves up. How did that feel? Be sure you listen to your body and stop immediately if you have pain. And I didn't forget that free gift. All you have to do is click the link down below in the description, which will take you to a page where you put in your email, and within minutes you have your free Healthy Shoulders guide in your inbox. If you learned anything helpful, please share this video with a friend and click that thumbs up button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you can get more tips and tricks for pain relief and corrective exercises. Be sure to leave me a comment letting me know how this worked for you or other pain relief tips you'd like to see. Until next time, take care of yourself.